Hey, everybody.
We are here.
We are here.
We are here. We've been drinking already.
Well, come on.
I started drinking 15, 20 minutes ago.
Did you really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, you're way ahead of me then. I've only had like 3 sips. That's all I had. I was in here trying to figure this shit out. Yeah. Hopefully everything, we're praying to the streaming gods. Everything worked out good on Wednesday's show.
I think it did, yeah.
And, yeah, it did.
I think it's worked.
I think I had one or two little hiccups, but it was like a second. You know what I mean? But it mostly stayed through the whole 4 hours. So
yeah, and I'm not even
encouraging.
And I'm not even on the Wi-Fi. I'm on the satellite.
Yeah, I don't even know if it helps or not, but it's just it's better safe than sorry. I kind of feel like.
Yeah, any little bit off of that stream would help. I think
that's what I'm saying, and it is kind of rainy outside, so we'll see how it goes. And I'm hopefully. Everybody can hear us and everything like that. Because like I said, I updated my OBS and it has new features and shit on it, and I'm just still trying to figure out how it works. So
how you doing, Oracle? How did you everything work out right at the hospital? Wasn't she at the hospital?
Yeah. Uh-oh, it went red already.
It did.
Oh, okay.
It went back.
No, okay, it came back.
Yeah.
Don't make me nervous. Oracle says, I have not been drinking, but I'm on a lovely post-op painkiller. Wee.
Yeah.
Woo, she's got the good shit. All right. Well, so it's Friday. We don't have anything. It's a sidetrack show. We don't have anything particular to talk about.
Well, I did have some shit I had to
When has that ever stopped us before?
Yeah.
Never. That's when.
I saw some good videos last night. Hold on. All right.
I did want to address what Camp Guy said earlier about the 2 grown men just killed by a runaway camel at a Tennessee petting zoo. Camel's no joke. That camel just wasn't having it, I guess. Yeah. Didn't want to be petted anymore. So he's it's not funny. Well, I don't know. It kind of is funny, but it's kind of not funny. I don't want to be killed by a rampaging camel. We're good camels. Just saying.
Okay. Last night I saw a good video. It's this one right here. The publisher is Jesse Michaels. That second one, not in there. All right. And it's called The Physics of UFOs with Eric Weinstein and Hal Puthoff. It's Puthoff. And it's a little hour-long program. And it's real good. Eric Weinstein, he's a physicist. He's skeptical of paranormal and UFO type stuff. And Hal Puthoff was the guy who ran the Stargate project, with a remote viewing project for NSA and CIA, and he was also part of that Bigelow Aerospace, and even did a couple little studies, and he saw more of those Tic Tac videos. The Tic Tac UFO videos. He saw ones that were shown to him by the Navy that were still classified. He said they were better. He says those videos were a lot better. He wouldn't say what they were, though. But he gets into a lot of the quantum consciousness stuff from Stuart Hameroff and what's the other guy's name?
Roger Penrose.
Roger Penrose. And he says that he just gets into those topics. And Weinstein is like, man, I can't believe you're... He's like, you're a scientifically rational guy, and you know what you're talking about, and I can't believe you're entertaining this, you know what I mean? But he goes, yeah, and part of it was he was talking about was a faster than light travel, and that was kind of bending fucking Weinstein's mind, because when Weinstein talked about it, says there's a couple experiments that were pretty weird with electromagnetism, where it looked like electromagnetism was doing things that were kind of impossible when it came to a stream of protons. He explains it, and basically, what Hal's saying is he's saying there's a lot of things that you see in these Tic Tac and UFO type videos that the government was showing the company that he worked for, because he was contracting for them. He says can be explained with certain things of the electromagnetism, and I couldn't grasp all of it. These guys are fucking much smarter than me, and they have the training for it. But he was saying that faster than light travel is impossible with the physics that they know. But you can take Einstein's general relativity And there are certain things that you can do to make it appear that you traveled faster than light. In other words, a way to cheat. So, and he says it has, and they were saying that part of it is that we're only used to one dimension of time, moving forward in time. But theoretically, there's a couple of other temporal dimensions. In other words, there's another future and another future and another, and a sideways future, which kind of it doesn't. I can't imagine it, but they can. Kind of like I can only picture the 3 spatial dimensions, but they said no. There's probably more, like at least 6 of them. That's weird.
I've heard as many as 11.
Yeah.
But again, theoretical.
Yeah, there's at least 6. But they did say that other dimensions are kind of like, some of these theoretical dimensions kind of merge a direction in with time at the same time. In other words, like a kind of a fuzzy dimension where it's partly a direction and partly a way of time is flowing.
Yeah.
So, but they were just saying purely dimensional, physical dimensions, they think that there should be 6. So, okay, well,
our little brains are like,
yeah, right. Well, he started talking about Hammeroff, and then made me go watch Pembrose and Hammeroff. They put a new video out. They're talking to these university students, and they're getting a lot better feedback from them than when they first started talking about quantum consciousness, because now they were able to prove a bunch of shit that's happening in the microtubules of the brain. There are phenomena that's going on in there that does seem to be quantum computation. Not so much like a computer, it's an analog version, because, well, not analog, it's like a metamaterial version that doesn't require real low temperatures. And all this, they get into some wild shit. But at the very end of that show, Hammeroff says, look, we're not saying paranormal phenomena exist, but if they do exist, it's because of this. So got to be real careful of what they're saying. I know what Hammeroff
but see, that's
really
what
saying.
I've always said. Like, look,
Right.
there's probably way weirder shit out there than we realize.
Well, I know
but I don't think that it's like magic or anything like that. It's just some shit that we don't understand yet. That's all. Just like everything else.
All that stuff.
Back in the old days, they thought electricity was magic.
Exactly.
So, and it's not.
All that stuff that happened in Mammoth Mountain all had to do with quantum consciousness. RSPK, recurrent spontaneous psychokinesis. But it's not psychokinesis in the classic sense. It appears to be psychokinesis. It's something having to do with quantum non-locality and fucking entanglement. And they understand it a lot better than I do. And I had it happen to me, and with witnesses. The reality is far stranger than you think it is, because there's more dimensions involved than your senses can interact with. But I recommend those shows right there. It's The Physics of UFOs with Eric Weinstein and Paul Puthoff. He gets into remote viewing. And Paul says he doesn't know how remote viewing works. They just know that they get results, about 70% accuracy. He even won a bunch of money in Las Vegas using using kind of like remote viewing type stuff, which is, he explains it. He doesn't know why.
I need to figure out how to do that.
Yeah. He says he got tired of winning money. Won $300,000, $200,000.
Gosh, I'm so sick of winning money.
Said he was exhausted, though. He said it was a lot of work. Because you're taking 2 steps forward and 1 step back.
I'll
and 2
do a lot
forward.
of work for $300,000.
It had something to do with choosing random things and doing certain things. He talked about it.
I can do shit with my brain. It's fine.
Yeah.
I'll do it for $300,000.
That book that I read about, it's called Psychic Warrior. It was about that military remote viewing program. The weird thing about it is that they weren't getting results by going into trances and seeing things. Some dudes were, but in general, what they were doing is making objects and putting labels on objects and having other people randomly pick them. And then those objects had labels on them that helped them narrow it down what it was that they were looking for. And it seemed to be randomly generated. a guy would just randomly pick something out of a bag and put it on the ground and say, okay, so it's red. You know, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, so and they would just, by a process of elimination, narrow it down. So you're talking about an unconsciousness, which goes into almost kind of like, what was that fucking Freud's friend?
Carl Jung?
Carl Jung. That there's some kind of like a cosmic unconsciousness, and that your unconscious is more powerful than your consciousness. And you just unconsciously selecting things at random can lead you to a conclusion that is accurate. Doesn't make any sense to me, but in the quantum world it might. In the quantum mechanics it might.
Well, yeah, there might be some connections that we're not aware of.
Yeah.
That's going on.
And they talk about it in you know, used to be the fucking college students be booing them, but now that they had those damn results coming back about them fucking around with all the anesthesia, they were proving that anesthesia is working on the microtubules in the brain. They fucking doped up these little guppies and hit them with an ultraviolet light, and it instantly knocked them all out. And they go, okay, that's what it is.
Well, see, but that's good, though, because that's how you have to approach scientific things. You have to be skeptical.
Yeah.
Until somebody comes forward with